Good morning, everyone. Today we will study the remaining part of electricity, and today itself we will finish this chapter. So, in this chapter, in the last lecture, you studied about a combination of resistors. Combination of resistors you studied in two mode: resistors in series and resistors in parallel. When resistors in series done, we saw that equivalent resistance R will be equal to R1 plus R2. If there are two resistances, we will add them individually. Okay, just simply algebraically we will add them, and after that, if two resistances R1 and R2 will be in parallel, their equivalent will be the sum of reciprocals. Like in that way we will write. If I will write for you, then it will be R is equal to R1 plus R2 for series, and for parallel it will be reciprocals, sum of reciprocals. So it will be 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. These all things we studied in the last video. So today what we will be starting, in this chapter heating effect of electric current. What? Heating effect of electric current. Heating effect of electric current means somewhere heat will be produced due to the flow of current. Okay, now you know that current flows in a conductor, right? Current flows in a conductor, and every conductor has some resistance. What is the work of that resistance? The work of that resistance is to oppose the flow of current. Okay, so what happens when current flows through a conductor having some resistance which opposes its flow? Then some energy is wasted. Some energy is wasted, and the word in place of wasted we will use here dissipated. Okay, some energy is dissipated against this opposition, and that energy wasted comes out in the form of heat. Okay, so what is our statement? When current flows, this is our statement of heating effect of electric current. So listen carefully. When current flows through a conductor of resistance R which opposes its flow, then some energy is dissipated. Some energy is dissipated against that opposition. Against that opposition, that energy comes out in the form of heat. This is called heating effect of electric current. In your notes you can write my language, otherwise you can write in your own language. If you write in your own language, it will be more beneficial for you. Okay guys, so after this there is a formula, children. There is a formula for the heat produced in any conductor, and that formula is H is equals to I square RT. What is this H? This H is heat produced. This I is current flowing in the conductor. This R is called resistance. This R is called resistance of conductor. This T is time for which you are allowing current to flow. So we can say that there are three factors on which the heat produced depends. H depends on I square. I square means current square. H depends on the resistance of conductor, and also we can say H depends on the time for which we are allowing current to flow. Okay, so after this there is a short derivation. Few steps are there to obtain formula H is equals to I square RT. So what is that formula? Let us see. First of all, let me make one conductor for you. In this conductor we will allow some current I to flow, and the potential difference of this battery, suppose it is V. Resistance of this conductor, suppose it is R. Okay, now we already studied that current flowing can be given by Q upon T, where T is the time and Q is the charge flowing, right? After this we know that potential difference, formula of potential difference, it is equals to work done upon charge. So what we can say, work done is equals to VQ. Work done is equals to VQ, and from here what you can say, Q will be equals to IT. This Q, if I will replace by IT, formula of work will be VIT. And if work is equals to VIT you are getting, then you can say that work is equivalent to energy, and this energy will come out in the form of heat, that means H. So we can say that it is formula of H, VIT. Now you will say, sir, it is not the same formula which we studied. So I will tell you that V is equals to IR according to Ohm's, no, not according to, means from Ohm's law we got this result. So if you replace this V here, what will you get? You will get H is equals to I square RT, and this is the end of your short derivation. So let us once repeat this derivation, all the steps. What we have written first, current is equals to Q upon T. From here Q is equal to IT. Using definition of potential difference, V is equal to W upon Q. Work we got VQ. Q is replaced by IT. This work will be equivalent to energy, and here energy will come out in the form of heat. So that's why H is equals to VIT. Now V is equals to IR. It is there, we know. So H will be equal to I square RT. This was the derivation as well as topic. And you remember, yes, one more thing, and it is very important. This formula H is equals to I square RT, production of heat formula, it is also known by the name Joule's law of heating. It is also known by the name Joule's law of heating. Okay children, so let us move to your book. Okay, you can see here some steps, few steps you can see. Then you see here this is written H is equals to I square RT. It is called Joule's law of heating, in which you can see it is directly proportional to square of current, directly proportional to the resistance for a given current, directly proportional to the time. So on the three factors it depends. After this we have one question. Okay, let us do this question. What is this? An electric iron consumes energy at a rate of 840 watt. At a rate of 840 watt. Watt means what is the unit of power? Here you can see this W. This W stands for watt. Watt is the SI unit of power. If we skip this power, then let us study few things about power only. What is power, children? Power is the rate. Its definition is rate of energy dissipated. Rate of energy dissipated. It is called power, and its formula is W upon T. Now you see W is work. Okay, you can also write energy upon time. You can also write energy upon time. Now children, remember, whenever in denominator we have time, we can call in terms of like language, we can call it rate of. Okay, now what you can see in the numerator, energy. So what we will call it? Rate of energy. Okay, because of this rate of, and what is this? Energy. So this is rate of energy. In terms of language you can write like this. This is the definition of power. These are two formula. SI unit already I told you, SI unit of power is watt. Okay, now after this let us move back to the question. Okay, let us see what is question. Power is given. Power is 840 watt. Okay, power is 840 watt when heating is at maximum rate, and 360 watt when the heating is at minimum. Means two power are given, one is 360, one is 840. 840 is when heating is maximum rate, is at maximum rate, and 360 watt when power is at minimum rate. Okay, so 360 and 840, there are two power. This is minimum, this is maximum. So one is P max, one is P min. Voltage is 220 volt. Let us write voltage is 220 volt. After this, what are the current and resistance in each case? In each case we have to find out current and What is that other thing? Current and resistance in each case. Okay, so you know, you just studied that H will be equals to I VIT, right? Or you can also say, you can also say H is equals to V square upon R into T. This also you can say. How? Again, you do one thing, since V is equals to IR. From here what can we say? I is equals to V upon R. If this I we will substitute here, then what we will get? H is equals to V square upon R into T, right? Now this H is what? Energy. If this T I will cross multiply like this, then what do we have? V square upon R. H upon T. I just told you that if time you have in denominator, then it is rate of H is energy, rate of heat energy dissipated or energy dissipated. That means we can say it is equals to power. So power formula will be P is equals to V square upon R. Now for the two cases we will apply for the power maximum. That case, power in that case is, let us see, 840 is power maximum and power minimum is 360. 840 power, so you write it here, V square upon R is equals to 840. Okay, now V square means square of 220 upon R is equals to 840. Here P minimum is equals to V square upon R and it is equals to 360. Why we are using this formula only? Because using this formula we can calculate R, since V is given in the question. That's why we are using this formula. Okay, now 220 into 220 upon R is equals to 360. So after doing calculation on both the sides, you could have the value of resistance. One value you will get here and one value you will get here. Let us see answer. So answer in one case you will get 57.6 and in the other part you will get 134.15. Calculation I am not doing for you, calculation you can do yourself. I just told you the way we can do this question. Okay, calculation will take time, and if you do calculation yourself, it will be like a practice for you to calculate numerical values. After this, the next question you can see. Okay, only one question is there before exercise. Let us do this question also. Okay, so what is question? Question is 100 joule of heat is produced each second. Okay, each second means time is 1 second and 100 joule of heat is produced. That means H is equals to 100 joule. Resistance is 4 ohm. Resistance, it is 4 ohm. Find potential difference. Potential difference we have to find out. Let us see what all things are given to you. These all things. So we studied this formula. Should we apply? No. We studied V square upon R into T formula. Should we apply? Yes. Reason? Because these four things are present in this formula. So when you put values, what will you get? 100. V is, we have to find out, R is 4, time is 1. So when you will cross multiply, V square value will be 400. That means V will be equal to 20 volt. Let us check answer. You are getting the same answer. After this you have exercise. Okay. Now in this exercise, why does the cord of electric heater not glow while the heating element does? While the heating element does. Children, understand what question is. Okay. This is your electricity board and this is switch. Okay. Now what do you have? here you connected one electric heater and its wire is coming down like this. Okay, this is electric heater here, right? Now if this is electric heater, then it has wire. One wire is this, which is a conductor, and other wires you must have seen in the form of spirals in the heater. These spiral type wires used to glow, right? These wires are made up of alloy. These wires are made up of alloy. Alloy is what? Alloy is mixture of two or more metals. So it is made up of metals. It is generally a mixture of two or more metals. Now try to understand question. Why does the cord of electric heater not glow? That means this is the cord. You have seen that it do not glow. It do not glow. Glow means it doesn't give you light or heat, you can say, while this wire glows. What is the reason? Let us see question. While the heating element does. So this is the question. Why the heating element glows while the what is that? Cord doesn't glow. Cord means conductor. This conductor. So the answer is this only. This heating alloy, this heating coil is made up of alloy, and this cord is made up of conductor. Now what is main reason behind this? Listen here. Conductor has not resistance, resistivity. Conductors has low resistivity, okay, while alloys have more resistivity. Because they have low resistivity, the heat produced is more. And their conductivity is low. So the cord, which is made up of conductor, it produces very less heat. Due to less heat, it do not glow, while the heating element, it is made up of alloy, so it glows because more heat is produced due to high resistivity. So the main reason behind this was resistivity only. Resistivity already we studied. After this, next question is compute the heat generated while transferring 96,000 coulomb. Charge is 96,000 coulomb. This is charge in 1 hour through a potential difference 50 volt. In 1 hour, time is 1 hour and potential difference is 50 volt. What are they asking? Compute the heat generated. That means H. We have to find out H. What is formula we can apply here? Look children, if you know Q and T, that means you know I. Okay, you know I, you know V, you know I, and also you know that what is time. So you can apply here the formula of energy as VIT. V, what is V? V is 50. What is I? I will be Q upon T into T. T is cancelled by T. No need to put this value. Okay, you can save your time. 50 into Q. Q is 96,000. What will come? 4 zeros. 9 6 are 30. 9 5 are 45. 48. H. Joule. 4 lakh, not 4 lakh, 48 lakh. 48 lakh joule. This is your answer. Okay. So this was your answer. Next question is an electric iron of resistance 20 ohm. There is one electric iron, its resistance is 20 ohm. takes a current of 5 ampere. Resistance is 20 ohm. Resistance is 20 ohm. Current is 5 ampere. Current is 5 ampere. Calculate heat developed in 30 seconds. Heat developed, time 30 seconds. Very easy question, children. What are the things given this time? H is equals to I square RT. This formula you can apply after seeing all the things. Okay, use this formula and you will get your answer. Very easy question, just value based question, formula based question. Now next is practical applications of heating effect of electric current. That means this heat which was produced whenever current flows through a conductor or any alloy. So heat, you have seen heat was producing. So this production of heat due to the flow of current can we use in our practical life anywhere? So your answer will be yes. We are using an electric iron, electric toaster, electric heater. So these are all practical applications. You can see here electric laundry iron, electric toaster, electric oven, electric kettle, electric heater. These all are practical applications of Joule's law of heating, or you can say the heating effect of electric current. And also I told you the reason behind this, why these all things are producing so much heat, because to make them what we are using alloy. And what is in alloy? In alloys we have high resistivity. This high resistivity produces very high heat, that's why. Okay, so you are getting the explanation as well. After this, you see electric heating is also used to produce light, like in electric bulb. Okay, you see in the filament means the very fine wire which is present inside the glass part of bulb, that is known as filament. The filament generates heat. Okay, it gets very hot and emit light. Now there are different type of alloys. Okay children, remember this filament of electric bulb also, it is also an alloy. And which alloy? Tungsten. This alloy is tungsten. Remember this. Here you can see tungsten. You know why we are using tungsten here? Because we know that when electric bulb glows, it produces large heat. Along with light, it produces large heat, and if it produces heat, it could melt, but the melting point of tungsten is very high. That means this much high. It means that when you produce 3380 degrees Celsius temperature, then only the filament of tungsten will melt. Otherwise it will not melt and could be used for a long time. This is the reason we are using tungsten in electric bulb. The filament should be thermally isolated. Means children, remember inside that glass of electric bulb, to protect that tungsten filament from any type of reaction, we are filling an insulating air. We are filling insulating air inside bulb. Due to that insulating air, there will be no chemical reaction occurring, and the filament will remain safe. Understood? Which type of gases we can use? Nitrogen, argon, these type of gases we can use, and it can protect the life of filament, right? Prolong. Most of the power consumed by filament appears as heat, but a small part of it in the form of light. Now children, you see there was a alloy in heater that was producing less heat, less light and more heat. Okay, and tungsten is a filament in tungsten filament in electric bulb. It is producing more light and less heat. So it depends on the type of alloy, which type of alloy you are using. Okay, some alloys produce less heat, Some alloys produce more heat. Where we need more heat, we use that type of alloy in that particular device. Another applications are also given. So what is that application? Fuse. Fuse means electric fuse, which you might have seen in your home. It protects circuit. Circuit means this path where the electric current flows. So the work of fuse is to protect the electric circuit. And what it will do to protect the circuit? It will stop the flow of high electric current. The fuse stops the flow of high electric current. Fuse is placed in series in the device. Okay. Remember, you could be asked that in which configuration fuse is added. So remember, fuse is added in series in the circuit. Now what fuse consists of? It consists of a wire which is made up of, it could be of metal, could be of alloy, of appropriate melting point. For example, aluminium, copper, iron, lead, etc. It could be of anything. If a current larger than a specific value flows through circuit, temperature of fuse wire increases, due to which it melts and breaks the circuit. And if the circuit is broken, you know that electric current will not flow, because to flow electric current we need a closed and continuous path. So what is the working of fuse here? Children, working of fuse is, fuse carry a wire. Fuse carry a wire. Wire could be of conductor or alloy. Okay. Now, but what type of conductor or alloy? Of a particular melting point, having a particular value of melting point, such that when current goes high, then more heat will be produced. That more produced heat will melt the wire of fuse. Now if the wire of fuse starts melting, then the path will be broken. Circuit path will be broken, and in the broken circuit, current will not flow. If current will not flow, then our appliances will remain safe. Now you look, children, I will draw one circuit for you that will give you better understanding. Okay, so children, here I have drawn one household circuit for you to understand the working of fuse. You can see this part is fuse. Okay, having wire also. This is the wire, fuse wire. Okay, now this is the symbol of AC source. You know, in the previous circuits we were using a battery. Battery is a DC source and it is an AC source. As you know that at your home, what type of electricity is coming? It is AC. It is alternating source, right? So that's why I used here alternating source symbol. What is this? This is a switch. Like you have so many switches in the electricity board for different things, I also connected 3 things here: fan, light and fridge. Okay, now try to understand the working of fuse. See, fuse here I have connected in series. Series means just with this AC source, just together with this AC source. Now try to understand that if the amount of current which will come out from the AC source, if its value will increase, then it will produce more heat. That more heat produced will melt this wire, and if this wire will melt, what will you see? Here this fuse will blow, and if this fuse will blow, what will you have? You will have a break. You will have a break here. If you have a break here, is it possible for the current to flow? It is not possible. That's why current will be 0. And the current, higher current will not go afterwards to our electrical components, and our electrical components will remain safe. That's why it is recommended to connect a fuse in series with just with the AC source, or the wires which you are through which you are getting AC to your home. Okay, you can also check in your home, you must be having a fuse connected which will be the main fuse of your home. If that fuse will melt, the whole electricity of your home will stop. Okay, no device will work. Now the second thing which I want to explain you here is the advantage of parallel combination, right? These all are switches. Now children, one question is very rare and asked many times, that why these electrical devices are connected in parallel, not in series. Here you can see it is connected in parallel, all are in parallel. So what is the reason behind this? So let us study the advantages of connecting the things in parallel. First advantage is same potential difference, or you can say same voltage. Correct? In parallel we get same voltage. Like if here you have 220 volt, 220 volt is the standard voltage which we receive in India. Okay, and 50 hertz is the frequency. There is frequency also in alternating current. So 50 hertz is the standard frequency and 220 volt is standard voltage. Right children, remember these things, can be asked in exam. Could be possible, I will ask. Now after this, so if there is 220 volt at AC source, then here also we will get 220 volt, here also we get 220 volt, and here also I got 220 volt. Everywhere in parallel I will get same voltage. Next is low resistance. Low resistance means if you connect things in parallel, then the overall resistance, suppose like resistance due to fan, due to light, due to fridge, the resistance of all of these things when connected in parallel will be lesser. That means equivalent resistance will be lesser. So this is the second reason. Now if there will be low resistance, then less heat will be produced. Okay, understood? After this, next, separate switch. It is the third advantage. Separate switch for a separate appliance. For a separate appliance. Appliance means fridge, light, fan, these all things. You can see here for each device I put one separate switch. Now suppose if you do not want to use fan, then what you can do? If you do not want to use fan, you can switch it off. So when you will switch it off, here no current will go and the fan stops working, while the light and fridge will continue to work. So this is the advantage of connecting in parallel. While if you will connect in series, only a single switch can switch off all the components. Okay, and it will be a big headache. Now what could be the fourth advantage? So fourth advantage we can write like this: if suppose one device is stopped working. Okay, if one device is stopped working, then what will you see? Other devices will continue to work. This is advantage in parallel combination. Like suppose you see here, suppose this light stopped working. Working means it disconnected the path. It opens the path, it breaks the path. Then if it is connected in parallel, like I have shown you, then what will you see? current will come through fan and will pass through, right? Current will come through this fridge and will pass through, while current will not come through this way because the circuit is open. So this is the advantage. If one device stopped working, then it will not provide any effect on the other devices. Other devices will work as like they were working earlier. So these are the 4 advantages. Not more than 4 will be asked. In half part you can write one advantage, and it will be your 2-mark question if it will come in your exam. So with this figure I explained you 2 things: the working of fuse as well as the advantages of household connection in parallel. 2 things we studied here. After this, what is next, children? Let us see. So these all things we studied here. Another application of Joule heating is fuse. This also we studied. Okay, it is given working of fuse. The fuse used for domestic purpose are rated as 1 ampere, 2 ampere, 3 ampere, 4 ampere, 5 ampere. Now what is this, children? This is the limit. Like you want to limit current, electric current only. Okay, suppose in any circuit you do not want that current flowing should be more than 10 ampere, right? Then which ampere fuse you will use? You will use 10 ampere fuse. And if you want, suppose, more than 2 ampere current should not flow in the circuit, then you will use 2 ampere fuse. For an electric iron which consumes 1 kilowatt electric power when operated at this volt, a current of these ampere is produced, that is 4.54 ampere. Now this is an example. This what is this? Electric iron. This electric iron, which is of 1 kilowatt power and operated at 220 volt supply, then it is consuming a current of 4.54 ampere. Now suppose if you want to protect this electric iron, then which fuse you will use? Will you use 1 ampere fuse or 2 ampere? Then our answer will be none of these. We will use 5 ampere fuse. We will use 5 ampere fuse because we want that current should not exceed this value. Current should remain lower than this value. Okay. In this case, a 5 ampere fuse will be used. So this was all about fuse. Now the next topic you have here is electric power. As you can see here, electric power, this topic already I told you, the rate of energy dissipated, or you can say the rate of consumption of energy. If you will consume anything, it get waste, right? And the same I told you earlier. After this, you can see power formula is given by VI, I square R, V square upon R. These all are the formulae of power. How can you say these are the formulae of power? Remember, formula of power in terms of heat, it was H upon T. From here we can write H is equals to P into T. If you can write H is equal to P into T, then remember, children, you can also write H is equals to V square upon R T. H is equals to I square R T. H is equals to VI T. Now here if you check, this T is coming everywhere in the formula of H, right? Now except H and T, what do you left? You are left with P. So if you are left with P, that means P is V square R, P is I square R, and P is only VI. These all are the formulae of power. Now let us come to book. Okay, after this we studied that SI unit of electric power is watt. Now this is used for the definition of 1 watt. Now we will try to define that how much is 1 watt. Using this formula only we can define work upon time, or you can say energy upon time. So power, how much power? 1 watt you want to define. How much energy? Energy is 1 joule. Time is 1 second. If these values will be 1, then only the answer of this fraction will be equal to 1. That means 1 watt. So now let us see how could we define. Look, when 1 joule, when 1 joule of heat, when 1 joule of heat, or you can say energy, when 1 joule of heat or energy is dissipated in how much time? In 1 second, then the power of that device is 1 watt. Then the power of device is 1 watt. Now listen again and in a more better way. Suppose there is a device. There is a device. It consume 1 joule of energy in 1 second. Then power of that device will be 1 watt. Simple definition. Okay. Now after this, next topic. Let us come to book. The unit watt is very small. What is a very small unit? So we can use higher units also, like kilowatt we can use, or we can use megawatt also, which is not given here. Okay. So kilowatt, in kilowatt how many watts will be there? In kilowatt there will be 1000 watt. Now children, there is one more thing given here. There is one more thing given here. It is about electrical energy. It is about electrical energy. Electrical energy is the product of power and time. This is the definition of electrical energy. Like this also you can define. Unit of electrical energy. Unit of electrical energy is watt hour. Unit of electrical energy is watt hour. Or you do not say watt hour, you say 1 kilowatt hour. Okay. Unit of electrical energy is 1 kilowatt hour. Its symbol is kWh, and this kilowatt hour only is known as unit. Children, when electricity bill of your electricity consumption is coming to your home, it comes in the form of units only. So what is this units? Suppose the bill is 450 units. Then what does it mean, children? It means that you have consumed 450 kilowatt hour electrical energy. This is the meaning of 450 units. Now if you want to define 1 kilowatt hour, if you want to define 1 kilowatt hour, how will you define? See children, this is what? This is electrical energy. This is electrical energy. Energy. Power formula was energy upon time. Then energy will be equal to power into time. Now, how much energy do you want? 1 kilowatt hour. For that, time should be 1 hour. Then only hour will come here. Am I right? And power should be not watt. It should be 1 kilowatt. Reason? We want 1 kilowatt hour energy. Right? Now how can we define it, children? We can define this part as if suppose there is a device, if there is a device of how much power? Device of 1 kilowatt power. Device of 1 kilowatt power, if it is operated means it is used. If it is operated for 1 hour, then how much electrical energy you consumed? It means you consumed 1 kilowatt hour electrical energy. This is the definition of 1 kilowatt hour. Okay, that how much is 1 kilowatt hour. Now like this, you can also check your meter. You can also check your electricity meter that it is working correct or not. For that, what do you have to do? You have to do this. Operate a device which is of 1 kilowatt hour power, 1 kilowatt power, and for how much time? For 1 hour. In 1 hour, if the reading will increase by 1, that means 1 unit. This is also unit. So it means the meter, the electricity meter in your home is working fine. Otherwise, it is not working fine. Okay, after this, you know children, this is the unit of electrical energy. and also we know that joule is also SI unit of energy. So if this is SI unit of energy, then what type of unit is this? This unit is commercial unit. This unit is called commercial unit. Commercial unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour. Now what is the relationship between 1 kilowatt hour and joule? That relationship is 3.6 into 10 to the power 6. And how we got? We wrote 1 kilowatt in the form of watt and 1 hour in the form of second. After that, just a simple multiplication and we got the relationship, right? Okay, then we have a question, and after question the chapter is over. After this there is nothing in the chapter. We completed this chapter. These are 2 questions which we will discuss. 5 minutes I will take in this video, more I will take in this video lecture. So let us see our question. What was our question? The question is, an electric bulb is connected to 220 volt generator. That means voltage is 220 and current is 0.5. Voltage is 220 and current is 220 volt and current is 0.50 ampere. What are they asking, children? What is power? Very simple. Power they are asking. We know power is equals to VI. Do this simple multiplication and you will get answer in watt. Next question. What is next question, children? Next question is, an electric refrigerator rated 400 watt. How much? 400 watt. Power is 400 watt. After that, operated 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day per day. Per day means in one day. Then what is the cost of energy? Cost of energy means money. Operate for 30 days. And what is the cost of 1 kilowatt hour energy, or you can say 1 unit? It is 3 rupees. So 1 unit is equals to how many rupees? 3 rupees. And we are using it for 30 days, right, children? So to calculate unit means kilowatt hour, we need energy. Energy is equals to power into time. What is power? Power is 400 watt. Power is 400 watt. Okay, this 400 watt, first of all you convert in kilowatt. How can you? By dividing 1000. Then it will be 400 upon 1000. 400 upon 1000. Now it is in kilowatt, right, children? I am writing kilowatt also for you. Kilowatt. After this you have time. How much time do you have? 8 hours. But it is in one day only. If in 30 days, how many hours? 8 into 30. 8 into 30 hours. Now you see, if you multiply these two things, then here you have kilowatt, here you have hour. Ultimately what will you get? Kilowatt hour. That's why I converted power into kilowatt first. Now what will come from here? 4 upon 10 into 8 into 30. This 0 cancelled by this. 8 4s are 32. 32 into 3. 3 2s are 6. 3 3s are 9. 96 kilowatt hour. That means 96 units. And 1 unit cost how much? 1 unit cost 3 rupees. So to find out cost, what will we do? 3 into 96. 3 into 96. I think yes. They also have done 96 into 3. It will give you 288 rupees. For a month, if there is a thing which is of 400 watt and you are using that thing for 8 hours daily for 30 days, then for 30 days you have to pay 288 rupees at 3 rupees per unit. Okay, after this we have exercise, a short exercise. Let us discuss these questions. What determines the rate at which energy is delivered? Rate of energy means power. An electric motor takes 5 ampere current from a 220 volt line. Determine the power of motor. The power of motor is what? V into I. Multiply them, you will get power. And the energy consumed in 2R. Energy consumed means E is equals to, by just now we used formula. Just now we used formula, energy is equal to power into time. If power you calculated in watt, first you convert it into kilowatt dividing by 1000, and time is what? 4 hour. Find out this, you will get energy in kilowatt hour. Energy in kilowatt hour. The same thing they are asking. Okay children, this was your chapter, so you can enjoy. Your first chapter is over. After that you have this exercise. You can try these questions. Okay, the remaining questions, whatever is left, if there is any problem you would be facing, you could ask, or you will you could ask if there is any. Otherwise most of the things 99% I covered in this video lecture, in all these video lectures. First day we because of the technical problem I wasted one day. Wasted we will not say, because of the technical issues the video was not working, but in future I will assure you that there will be no such problem come in front of us. Okay, so this was your physics chapter, which was electricity. After this, next week we will start a new chapter. Till then, keep safe and keep revising.